in memory of the elderly widower Shen sizheng. Shen sizheng was the sixth elderly person to pass away in Shikshong village nursing home. He originally lived in a natural village called Nayuduting. At the end of 2005, when the village nursing home was completed, he moved down from the mountain. His belongings were a pack of old clothes, a firewood knife, and a carrying pole. He was 74 years old at that time, short in stature but strong, with an extraordinary appetite, able to eat a jin 500 grams of white rice in one meal. He said that when he was young, he ate even more, sometimes needing to jin of rice for a single meal to feel full. Shen sizheng was an orphan. Before he turned 10, both his parents had passed away. He became a little beggar in the village, begging for food. When he grew older, he worked as a laborer. During the land reform in the village in 1952, he was allocated to ding a unit of land measurement of farmland, which he cultivated by himself. The 3 years after receiving the land were the best of his life. The rice harvest was abundant every year. He had enough to eat, and the surplus rice could be sold for money. He thought that in a few more years, he could save enough money to marry a wife. This was his greatest wish in life. However, later the village began agricultural cooperation. First with elementary communes where the land was cultivated collectively but the grain still belonged to individuals. A few months later, it became advanced communes where the farmland was owned by the public. A few months after that, people's communes were established, and everyone worked in production teams, getting grain based on work points. Then came the great leap forward, and the large-scale steel-making drive greatly changed his life. He was young, strong, honest, and responsible, and had no family, making him the best candidate for assignment. He was sent by the commune to Fuan, Ningdi to make steel, build roads, and construct reservoirs, staying there for 2 or 3 years. Then came the difficult period. All projects were halted, and he returned to the village. The public grain was used up, the big canteens were disbanded, and he almost starved to death. He missed the period of being assigned to work because he could eat his fill. Later, he was given a small private plot, which helped him barely get through the difficult period. For the next 40 years, he lived in the remote Nayuduting. He worked hard all the time but never had the chance to marry because he was poor and lived in the mountains. When he was old, he said to me, mutual aid groups were good. There was food to eat. Shen sizheng worked all his life. The day after moving into the nursing home, he went up the mountain to cut firewood. Besides using it for himself, he could also sell some to make money. He spent the last 9 years of his life in the nursing home. He had a monthly subsistence allowance of 180 yuan. And in the first 2 years, the state provided a monthly social security payment of 55 yuan for the elderly over 60. The county civil affairs bureau sometimes sent grain and oil, and kind-hearted people also offered help. This money allowed him to live the best period of his life. The year before last, he got sick with diabetes. This year, his condition worsened. He couldn't walk, couldn't cook, couldn't get out of bed, and soiled himself in bed so no one dared to get close. An elderly widower surnamed Wei next door bought him a bottle of 8 treasure porridge every day to eat. A few days before his death, he tied the money he had saved over the years in his chest and told old Wei that whoever buried him could take the money. At night, the money was stolen. He couldn't speak, just pointed to his chest, and old Wei realized the money was gone. He told the village cadres, and the villagers all knew about it and were very angry, wanting to find the thief. Probably due to a guilty conscience, the thief put the money back into Shen sizheng's chest pocket. The next day, Shen sizheng passed away peacefully. When the villagers opened his chest pocket, there was 3,000 yuan. Thinking of such a poor old man who could save so much money for the person who would handle his affairs after death, one couldn't help but feel sad and bitter.